What is up, Super Fam? Welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture. Yo, I'm Sensei Finito. This is Battery CEO, and bro, tell them what we're doing right now, my man.
We just got done watching episode 1 of What If. This one was titled, What If Captain Carter Were the First Avenger?
Yeah.
And this episode did not disappoint. Okay?
It did not disappoint at all.
We saw a lot of great stuff, and we were just blown away.
Yeah.
You know, we were genuinely intrigued, and we were genuinely react. I wish you guys could see our reactions.
Man, for real, because we were just in sync with certain parts.
We just looked at each other like, oh, it's happening. This is happening. You know, like we had
literally.
There was like 4 moments. We were just kind of like, yo, this is happening.
This is definitely going to be amazing.
And we were like 100% sure of it happening. And sure enough, it happened. We saw some great stuff. Before we kind of get into a little bit of spoilers, I don't know if we're going to go too deep, but like, you know, we'll definitely be talking about it.
Let's get these first 15 minutes out the way, unless, you know, you guys start jumping in the chat and start talking about things that happen in the show, then we'll talk about things that happen in the show. That sounds fair.
So, what were your thoughts of this first episode?
Man, my thoughts of this first episode were that it was, man, it was amazing.
It was refreshing.
It was refreshing. It was refreshing.
It was nice.
I can't wait to see the rest of the series. I can say that for sure. Like, but it just felt so Marvel. You know what I mean, though? Like every moment felt like it was supposed to be that way. Like I could see everything transpiring that way. It made me even want to go deeper within the universe of what we saw.
That's what we were talking about right before we go live. We were like, oh man, I want to know more about what happens after the events of that we just saw.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what this show did a really great job of, like, kind of introducing us to.
I agree completely.
Even with the way
What's up, Zayden?
Yo, how's it going?
Thanks for tuning in.
Even with the way they use the Watcher. And it seems like it's going to be like that every episode.
Yeah.
And once you guys watch, you know what we mean. Very Star Trek-ish.
Yes, yeah.
I guess you could say in terms of start and end. That was pretty awesome.
And that was all. I was about to say that was awesome. It really set the scene of everything, and it made me even appreciate the trailer that we had watched recently for What If, with the branches of reality happening. And that was awesome. If you guys haven't seen that trailer reaction, I believe it's up on our page right now.
I believe it is.
You should definitely check that one out. But it was just, Captain. I can honestly say that Captain Carter, like being the first Avenger, would have been amazing.
It would have been pretty awesome. And I don't know if this is a spoiler, but damn, so many people die. And like, I'm shocked we don't see people getting decapitated. Like there's so many places where like
it could have went R.
It could have went R.
Like
a hard R.
Hard red band.
And I loved that about this show so far. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what they bring moving forward. What do you think of the animation?
Yeah, I really liked the animation. It grew on me
a little bit.
It grew on me. Yeah, I was about to say it was iffy for me sometimes in the talking, in the talking points, like when they started like really talking, and you were supposed to really feel the expression from the character. It was like, like
sometimes it was hard to feel. Sometimes,
yes, it was hard to feel. But I could tell that they were really trying to catch catch it though. They were trying to catch that emotion, and I could appreciate that for sure. Zayden says, I wonder if in the last episode all of the stories will collide and the Avengers will team up, but these Avengers will be Captain Carter, T'Challa, Star-Lord, Gamer with Thank's armor, Gamora with Thanos' armor, and more.
There's a clip of that happening.
That's awesome.
And that's something that we've talked about before, leading up to this even I think during our pop culture update. That's something. One of the things that we brought up was like, how do we see this series ending? Because we weren't sure if it's going to be kind of a continuity thing. But like, however way they're doing, like, going to give it to us, I'm going to be really excited.
Okay, hear me out. What if we get them all teaming up at the end. Oh wait, never mind. We can't have that. Never mind.
I know the one thing that we were talking about right after the episode ended was because I don't think we're gonna get an end credit scene.
Yeah,
and if we do, it's gonna be the last episode. And we were thinking it might be of like Nick Fury killing the Watcher, or like we just see the Watcher's body on the floor and then Nick Fury walking and his eyes all glowing, some crazy stuff like that. Nick Fury,
straight moon base on the moon, of course. This show was a great first episode. I loved the length of it. How did you feel about that?
Okay, so initially we didn't know how long the episodes were going to be.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, what if it's like 10, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, you were on 10, 15, and I was like, bro, it got to be like 35, maybe 40. Because I was hoping for 45. I think that's what I was just saying in our pop culture.
That would have been nice. That would have been nice. A little extra,
45 minutes would have been magnificent. It would have been. It would have gave us a little wrap on what happened. But I think they did a good job of basically giving us Captain America, the first Avenger. You know what I mean? Yeah. But a different movie. You know what I'm saying? Do you expect that from all the other episodes? Yeah.
I think
Guardians of the Galaxy, same concept, different thing. T'Challa, so totally different everything, but it's the whole movie though. And then
we love. Okay, first off, going back to the episode length.
Yeah,
I think that length was perfect because the pacing of this whole show. Because this whole show this first episode basically kind of told us the first Avengers movie.
Oh yeah,
and the way they did it, I thought blended together seamlessly.
Yeah.
So I thought that the pacing on that and the way they did it was perfect. If it's any shorter than that, I guess there might be a little bit of leeway, but I think that 34, 45, maybe even longer is perfect. But I think 45 is a good soft. From 35 to 45, that is a good window. Definitely. I feel like,
Yeah.
But yeah, the animation was pretty. I liked it a lot at times, but then there was also some times where I was like, ugh. Like you were saying, the emotion didn't. I don't know. It gave me Lion King vibes, but I don't want to trash it that bad.
Yeah, I feel you there though.
Because it felt. Sometimes it felt. I don't want to say the word stale or paused, and their lips would still be moving as they're talking. Like that.
Yeah.
There was a couple moments where that's just what I saw, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'd like that. Because the anime is it also kind of reminds me of Castlevania and all the Netflix style animes.
Oh,
but they're not I can't tell you they're not similar, but the tones and the way they moved were kind of similar.
Yeah,
it's just that Netflix's were way more seamlessly and smoother, and not as choppy. It's just that, but they were. I just felt there was kind of choppy in this.
No, I can definitely see. I can definitely see what you're saying. There was definitely those moments where it was like, oh, bro, what is. It was like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was one of those. It was like, you're so close. But the action parts of it were always fluid to me, though.
Yeah.
That's what
It's just the very still parts where I was kind of like,
yes, yeah. And the still parts were super still, though. That's what,
yeah.
Do you want to talk about spoilers now? Or do you? Or
we can talk about spoilers.
You want to do spoilers? Okay. We're going full spoilers now.
So if you haven't watched it,
be careful. Because we're definitely going to jump into those.
Yeah.
But so,
how'd you like her becoming?
I loved that. I loved it. I love the way that they changed that story of her getting. I love that. I love the way that they changed that story, bro. It made me so. I was like. This is awesome.
And this show did a good job of making us feel like it was supposed to happen.
Yes. Yes, so, bro. I feel you completely.
That's what was awesome. Everything felt like it was genuine. This happened before, and that's the awesome energy that this show gave us. And I appreciated that. I really enjoyed how she becomes Agent Carter. I thought,
what is up, Obi-Wan? Yo, thanks for tuning in, yo. Did you catch out? Did you check out What If tonight, bro? And if you did, let us know how you liked it, bro. Loved the first episode of What If,
go.
man. Yeah. Yes, yo, it was so good. That's what we were just talking about. Yeah. So I really loved how she got her. Like, I loved it. Like, it seemed so realistic. I loved how the Watcher came in with, this is how it changed.
Yeah. Like, and again, even with the ending, the way he kind of like closed out the episode, was.
How did you guys like? What is his name? I can't even think of his name.
Eric Wright.
Eric Wright. How did you like Eric Wright's commentary?
Something Wright. I don't know if his first name's Eric, but
I think it's Aaron. What if?
Or the Watcher. Let us know in the comments what you guys' favorite part of this episode was.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of amazing moments in this episode, and Jeffrey Wright. Okay.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright's voice was awesome. He was doing his thing for sure, bro. I loved it. I did not know we were seeing all this. People, I'm juiced. It was great pacing, and Captain Carter was the truth, bro. She was whooping ass and taking names.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Yo, I was so sad that we didn't see blood, but like I was so happy with the way, because like people were dying, like left and right, bro. Like
people were exploding.
People legitimately should have had their heads cut off.
Yeah,
their brains should have been splattered on walls.
Yeah, like she was slamming people. Like she was super strong. Can we agree on that? She was just she was stronger than like any other super soldier that we've seen so far.
This was like Batman and Batman v Superman in the warehouse scene status, in terms of like Batman killed every person in that warehouse. Guaranteed. Like there's no way.
Yeah,
you know, that's the same vibe that I got here, and I was so happy about that. I really enjoyed how they basically kind of gave us a very quick and awesome speed run of what happened in the first Avengers, but from their perspective.
Oh yes, I appreciated that.
Going back to Obi-Wan's comment, the pacing was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that's something that I talked about while we were watching the episode. I was thinking, what was my favorite part? Honestly, I think my favorite moment in this whole episode was the train scene. When when the explosion happens, because right before it happens, we both were like, it's happening. It's happening.
We're like, yo, this is not a drill.
Yeah. Yeah, we just immediately knew what was happening, and then the boom happened, and we were like, "Yo, this show's amazing."
This show is amazing, and I think they even did a good job with implementing the Red Skull with his like whole plan, and trying to take his own section of take Hydra as his own, and not really worry about what Hitler and the Nazis are doing. You know what I mean? They still managed to put the beats of the movie. Is that what you were about to say?
Yeah, I and again, it goes back to the pace.
Yes,
it was awesome. I don't think they could have made this episode any shorter.
Oh no!
Or I mean, there was probably
they could have made it longer.
They could have made it
45 minutes would have been beautiful. That would have been perfect.
I definitely would have liked more of a conversation at the end. Amongst, as she comes back.
Yes.
And because there was a longer conversation, I feel like, in the first Avenger, and even in the end credit scene for the Avengers movie, right?
Yes.
Is that or
no? Yeah.
I think it was the Avengers end scene, and where he wakes up. Or no, it's not the Avengers.
No, that's in the first Avenger, Captain America, the first Avenger.
You're right.
Yeah, that's the end credit scene.
I felt like we got more in that than what we got. I don't know. Maybe they're both pretty good.
They're both pretty exquisite, to be honest. I feel like the only thing that we could have got a little bit more of was digging the Hydra Smasher, and the airplane battle was dope. Yeah, yes. Those were like some of the most amazing. Like it was just amazing.
The dynamic they had throughout this episode was captivating.
Yeah,
and I wanted them to get together, and it was the same vibe that I got from watching the first Avengers. Like, yo, you guys just got to get together. They got to do their thing. Get that first dance.
How did you feel about them still using Steve Rogers?
I was sad they weren't going to use him at all.
Oh, okay. You thought, is that the way that you were?
At all, because
that's the way that I thought they were going to go with it as well.
Because in like our MCU continuity, Agent Carter and Steve Rogers are just pivotal for one another. Like their story arcs are like huge for one another. Like I can't see Agent Carter without Steve Rogers.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Here's the other thing that I didn't bother me, but I definitely felt it. All the and it was proper for the time. So all the anti-woman stuff that was in the episode.
Yes.
Because that's definitely in this episode.
He
kind of went in.
I wasn't ready. That's one thing that took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Was how much he went in
with
at every moment that he could.
It's kind of
shocking,
was like, honestly. But
he was like, "What are you doing here?" Like I was like, "Whoa!" Yeah. He was like, "You should be happy you're even in the room." Like I was like, "What the? Whoa! What's up with this dude's energy? Yeah. Why is he tripping like this?"
And I just felt it pierce through the screen, hitting my like it was. That's how real it got.
Yeah, for real. What is up with it, Seeley?
How's it going?
Hi there, guys. This episode would have been crazy if it was rated R. We could not agree more. Because
I just pictured all the gore from like all the people dying throughout the whole episode.
I just saw Invincible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for real.
I wish they would have went that route with the animation though.
Just
right? Would you have liked that more if they had the Invincible type of animation? Like would that have been
I feel like that might be what they were maybe like trying to go for, but I don't think they wanted to, I don't know.
They were going for that weird anime style.
I feel like what they're doing is not expensive to do. You know what I mean?
Yes. Unfortunately, I feel like that's
the route they're going with it. Because I feel like, with Castlevania and with Omnia, there's certain things that they have to kind of put detail in where you can see it becoming expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm no animator, so I don't want to claim it's difficult or easy. But I just feel like this style feels lazy.
It does feel lazy, and but I still like it.
Yes,
which is weird because I found myself like torn while watching it because it was like the animation style was like, bro, what is this?
Hey, that's a good point.
Yeah, and actually, this is what I said during the movie. So yeah, you're right, Vinayak or Vinayak. I think that's how you say it. My bad, bro. I don't want to jumble that up. But what I was saying during it was, now that really makes us think about how Steve Rogers was
weak,
a weakling before. Like he was really small and he didn't have any type of muscle. He really didn't know anything about fighting or anything like that. And Peggy is already a agent at the time of the USSR.
Trained,
so she's been trained and whatnot. And it just enhances what she already has. So she was definitely stronger than him.
And
she stopped trucks in her tracks.
I felt that strength in this episode. And that's a good point. We never really see Captain America do that.
Bro, no. He does thing like I think the biggest thing we see him do is like grab a motorcycle I think the Winter Soldier did that. Yeah. So we don't get to see we never got to see really big feats of strength from him. Like we saw him
only like the chopper the chopper pulling thing.
Oh yes, that's right. He did do that. He did stop the chopper from going. But other than that, I mean, we didn't see him like she just stood in front of him with the shield and just boom and just flipped over. It was like what?
You know what? It's right around there where I see one of my favorite action scenes. When she's in front of the last truck, just beating people left and right. Yeah. And she's just going back and forth. And then she like does a swooping kick on the people on the bike. And then they blow up like, oh, bro.
Yeah. I wasn't ready for that's when we knew she was stronger. Yeah. Because when she threw her shield at things, they exploded in a fiery blaze. Like it was over. There was
no games. Like pretty much all Nazis or Hydra agents in this movie.
But I mean, that kind of goes to show maybe the only reason why we didn't see Cap do that is because he had way more control because he never needed to pop.
That's why they picked him.
That's why they picked him in the first place. Maybe there was a reason why he got picked because there's no way they never thought of Peggy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, well, I mean, she is a woman, so maybe like in that day, like so because they was tripping. Yeah, and I had no idea. I was like, why was she there in the first place then? You know what I mean? Like, not to say, like, if y'all was tripping so hard off of her, how did she get in the room?
I'm honestly surprised.
Because he was evil.
That the main dude that was throwing all the anti-woman hate.
Yeah.
Didn't say, no, get your ass up there. We don't need women down here. I'm surprised he didn't say that.
Yeah.
And if you watch the episode, you'll probably agree with me on that one.
Oh yeah.
But I think it was a necessary part for this episode.
Yeah.
But I wish we saw a little more difficulty of her actually getting into the field, because it just kind of jumped of her and being in the field after, like, you'll never be in the field, and then she's in the field the next shot. You know?
Oh yeah.
That, because that for me was maybe the spot, thinking about it, where they could have maybe elaborated more, maybe showed more of the process of her trying to get in the field, and it could have been like.
Wait, do you mean when?
Because like it doesn't really show her transition from like.
When she gets the shield and stuff? Is that what you're talking about? That transition, or after that?
Before that.
Before that.
I think after, because isn't it like...
That's the only time she does something, right? Like she gets the serum, she chases Brett down, then he tells her he's not going to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then Howard Stark comes with the suit and gives it to her, and then they all go and do the anyway.
I don't know.
So it was like, I think they did a good job with the beats. You know what I mean? Like it really hit like to me, it felt like we had really good moments of scene selection from here, you know? Yeah. Like obviously altered, but it was like if you took 10 minutes of like every like or whatever, maybe like 5 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes, I don't know what you'd take, but it just seemed so good. Like every time you got to a next part, you knew what part of the movie it was supposed to be taking place with, so to speak. And that's what I really enjoyed. And it was like, I don't know if they're going to continue doing that with like with Star-Lord and all that other stuff. But if they do, I will. I like that a lot. I like it. Like I liked hearing the dance references and knowing that it was still they were like you were saying, like their relationship was still pivotal. It didn't matter. Like that's like a nexus point in all of reality. It's always that. Like they always get together, so to speak. That's kind of how it felt to me.
Another thing. Okay, how did you feel about the Tesseract? The way they kind of utilized it in this episode.
I really liked it a lot. It was.
Because it's very different from what I mean, I guess it's kind of different, and then it's not compared to how it's utilized in the first Avenger.
But I mean, I think this is what would have happened if Stark got his hands on it. Howard Stark got his hands on it because
that early.
But
because Hydra didn't even get a chance to utilize it at all until like the very end, and even that is different in itself. But in terms of the purpose is different.
It just seems so weird because I could have swore that he couldn't get into the Tesseract.
I think when he tried to, it kicked him out, and that's when it transported him out.
No, Stark. Because remember, he had it. Because in Endgame, they go back to get it from his dad because he had it the whole time anyway. And I thought he couldn't use it or that he couldn't create or do anything with it, and that's what was causing all the problems. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
So how did he end up unlocking the secrets of it?
That Stark might have been much more bolder than the Stark when he got it after the fact, you know? Because they didn't have the Tesseract until they found Cap in the ice.
Yeah.
Technically. So it would have been a long time, and even then...
Yeah, because Red Skull had it that whole time.
The whole time. I don't think Stark actually had his hands on it. And if he did, it was during the time when they attacked the base, and I don't even know if Stark was there in the first Avenger.
No, they did have their hands on it because that's they had it during Captain Marvel. Remember, they got it back through doing all that stuff. It was there.
Oh, that's how they got it. Yeah, but prior to that, though, there was no other place they would have had it in their hands. So there's a huge chunk of time.
But that's where it was the whole time, is what I'm saying. That's how Captain Marvel got it because Marvel was working with S.H.I.E.L.D. And then she got it from Howard Stark because that was all in the notes. So
I got to rewatch the
you know what I mean?
Now I'm confused.
It's like why didn't he ever figure out? And why would he automatically make an Iron Man suit? But I liked it though. How did you feel about the Hydra Smasher?
I really liked it a lot.
Like
I honestly though, I thought it was dead.
Yeah, I did too. He was dead. I was like, oh, rip, bro.
I kind of
thought he was coming back as the Winter Soldier. I
honestly thought he was like, by the time they go and save him, he was going to be like all evil-fied or whatever, or like half robot or something. Like he's all of a sudden the villain, and like Carter's like kill her own love. Like, I thought we were going down.
Okay.
I thought we were going down that dark hole. You know, that's what I was thinking.
Dang, that would have been crazy.
But I'm glad. I like the way they utilized Steve Rogers, though.
I do too.
And I feel like because of the way Steve Rogers is, that's the reason why Stark did that and didn't do that before.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So like it caused him to think about trying to make him something. Yeah. If he couldn't be the hero, make a suit for him to be the hero, utilize the Tesseract to do. No, I could see what you're saying. Definitely. You know? And that does make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. And that's
how do you think okay, this goes to the question if all of them are connected, but like if it is connected, how do you think it impacts Iron Man?
Maybe that's why Killmonger comes and saves him.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Maybe that's why Killmonger. Whoa! What if every single episode is actually in this one universe?
That's something we have talked about as well.
Because I mean, think about it like this. So what we just saw happen in this one, right? Mm-hmm. So then Captain Carter comes to the future or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. When that happens, it changes the events of everything else, like you said. Yeah. So Star-Lord T'Challa gets taken instead, right? Mm-hmm. So that changes the future for Killmonger, and that's how he ends up with Iron Man.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then we just keep going from there.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. However, right? I do like the idea of everything be kind of its own thing.
Yeah. You know? Like their own universe. Yeah. And everyone's meeting up in like a multiversal. Yeah. Like we get the multiverse Avengers.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen. I don't know. It seems like at some point they're all going to collide.
Yeah, that would be dope. No, that's the problem. That is what's going to happen.
But I feel like your idea or proposal is way more possible.
Yeah, because it like weaves everything.
That just seems like that's where we're going.
Yes.
You know? But it doesn't also have episode 1, so next episode can completely change
the fabric of reality
and our whole theory on that one. But
I think this show is gonna. I think every What If episode is gonna take us by storm. I don't think any of them are gonna be bad. You know what I mean?
I'm really excited for the T'Challa episode. I feel like that one's gonna be one of the pivotal episodes in terms of greatness for this series. Trying to think what other things.
So how do you feel about not having a Winter Soldier since Bucky doesn't go through all the things that he would have gone through? You know what I mean?
It's a big change.
It's a big change.
Stark doesn't get killed.
So that means Bucky's. Oh shit!
Stark doesn't die, at least from that. Anyways, he might die from something else, but he doesn't die from that. He doesn't get killed by the Winter Soldier, so Iron Man or Steve. Tony Stark has a mom and dad still, technically. Yeah.
Steve is
but I don't know.
He took the route of Peggy in this one. He's gone. Oh, guys, G.O.
But I don't know. There's just so many questions, you know. And again, what if they did? I think they executed perfectly with this one.
Would you like to see a what if Captain America didn't take back all the Infinity Stones?
Honestly, I thought that was one of the things that we talked about. This series was going to be about.
Yeah, like seeing him and doing that, because that definitely created a multiverse or whatever.
But we have talked about wanting maybe a show of just him returning the stones. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that.
But how would you feel about it if it was animated?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
You wouldn't be opposed? No.
What
if it was this style?
I would like it a little better.
Okay, Invincible.
Yeah,
that would be lit. That would be lit.
If it was. Like Love, Sex, and Robots. That's the next level. Like,
Love, Sex, and Robots. Love, Death, and Robots.
Death, and Robots.
Yeah, there's nothing on that. There's nothing on that.
Yeah,
they're going crazy with that
style. Animation is like
top notch,
like real.
Yeah. What was your guys' favorite part?
Yeah, do you guys have any favorite parts of this
show?
First episode so far?
Because this episode was crazy. You called it at the end when you were like, "Oh, bro, instead of bringing Loki back, they brought her back."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh shit!"
Whoa. Did you like that?
I did like it, and once again, that's kind of what caught me to go on this rabbit hole of maybe that's why Loki maybe that's why this is different. Maybe that's why this is different because they brought him back instead.
Oh, see, that's the same question I had.
So if Peggy was teleported to the first Avengers film, what is supposed to happen with that Loki? Because in one trailer we see Loki with Nick Fury, but he arrives with an Asgardian army.
That's the question I posed right before we started this stream.
Yeah.
And honestly, I
no idea.
I don't know. I said maybe instead of Loki, Thanos actually shows up to Earth with his army rather than through a third person or a third party. Or maybe in another episode, they just try and mess with the Tesseract again, and he shows up.
I mean, but that's to say that Loki even chooses to go with Thanos in this reality. You know what I mean? Because
if he has an Asgardian army behind him,
yeah, because
that might be. I feel like that's different.
Things may be different. He may be there to help them. Against the Thanos.
Oh, Thanos' army.
Yeah, because he might just be the prince, and they might not.
I think we just called it.
You know what I mean?
I think we just called it.
So I think that would be amazing because he would just be there like how Thor would be there basically, and they're rocking, trying to protect, Midgard.
Yeah. Thanos is coming in, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we got to do something. Loki, the armor, show up. I'd like that.
I would like that. I hope we see some more Infinity Warp characters.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Shazam says, Seeley, Loki arrives via the Bifrost Bridge, claiming to be Asgard's king. Oh, snap.
I feel like that's because one of the things I was thinking about too is like, what would happen to Thor? Do we have a Thor episode?
I saw Thor, but I think that's from the Avengers episode. I think we get an episode like that takes place on the event, like for the first Avengers movie.
Yeah,
and I don't know what.
Like it might be the beginning before they show us the actual what if part. Maybe. Oh man, I wouldn't be. I mean, what if like Thor's Loki and like Loki's?
Thor, I feel you. I understand what you're saying.
And that might be the
like
route
Loki has Mjolnir.
Yeah.
And then Thor is the god of mischief, so to speak.
That might be it. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm just loving the episode. I couldn't be more happy. I wasn't worried at all for this series for some reason. I felt really comfortable and really just excited to watch this one. And it really, like we said at the very beginning, it felt very refreshing and nice to watch. And it all the more personal. Because for some reason it just felt, I don't know, it just felt good.
It did really feel good. It felt so good to watch, and it felt good to really like man, when we were like, like, you know what I mean? Like that moment of, oh, bro, we know what's about to happen, and like we both like see each other. It was just a good experience. It's been a little bit since we've had that Marvel experience like that, where it's like we guess the next part of like, and it's like, yes, we feel good about it, you know. And then Shazam, how does Peggy arrive at the SHIELD facility 70 years later? Do you want to take that one or?
Yes. I mean, if you're in here, you've already kind of heard
you've seen the episode.
You've seen the episode. You know, we're definitely talking about spoilers. So I will answer this question. They use a Tesseract.
Yeah.
And it's basically a cut scene of the moment where they bring Loki into the MCU, but instead of Loki, it's Agent Carter, along with some tentacles.
Yeah.
I also really loved. Okay, one of the coolest things in this episode was when Carter pulled out the sword.
That shit.
It was just clean. Like it just looked clean. And even when she came out of the Tesseract, I was like, God damn,
bro, that shit was saucy.
Like instead of a handgun, it's just a sword.
Just in case you're confused, Shazam though, Red Skull used the Tesseract to open up that portal that the tentacle dude came out of. So that was the same dimension basically that Loki was in too. But instead of Loki being in that dimension in this universe, Peggy Carter was there.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then the next half is what he said. Yeah.
And I like that. And I also like that
too.
we got to see Nick Fury and Hawkeye.
And
I like how instead of Nick Fury being a Captain America fan, knowing who she was, it was Hawkeye and not Nick Fury. Because Nick Fury is a huge Captain America fan.
Yeah.
But
as is Phil Coulson.
Yeah. But because he didn't technically know there was never a Captain America, and
she's British.
And she's British, Hawkeye was the one that knew who she was. And so that was a cool little switcheroo that they did.
Yeah. I like the suit.
Did
you like the suit? Yeah, the suit was saucy.
The way they introduced it as like the gift at the bar, I like that a lot. The way the shield looked. And you know what? I'll tell you what. I feel like the style of animation did a really good job of like making the suits and what they're wearing look really cool.
Yes,
and it made it pop. And that was
I agree with you completely. Yeah, it definitely looks saucy, and I liked the fact that it seemed like Peggy, Steve, and Howard had a more personal relationship than they did in Captain America.
Yeah.
And I don't know what made that, like transpire that way, but I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked it.
And they did a good job of making us feel that way in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, the first Avenger took a lot of time to kind of make sure that we liked Tony Stark, Peggy Carter, Steve Rogers, Howard Stark. Yeah. They made sure that we kind of knew them as characters and liked them. And so, and this show did a good job of that in like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, for real.
And that was awesome.
And I think what's so easy for them to establish it is because a lot of the story is the same still.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why we started where we started, because like the Watcher said, that's the only thing that changed it. So up to that point, Steve Rogers was still supposed to be Captain America. He still went through all of those things that he went through. He still jumped on the bomb and did all of that good stuff that made him that character, you know what I mean? And that's what I liked, is because they progressed his story differently, and he was still had the brains of the situation, so to speak. You know what I mean? He was still like a leader as well, and I really like that. And I think,
you know what? I also, for some reason, I thought Steve was the one that was going to be lost.
So did I. I still felt that too. That's weird.
I just felt like he was going to disappear, but I just forgot that it was Captain America is the one that's supposed to get lost and wake up later. And so, but I love the way they did it. I think the way they did it was cool. I'm sad. I honestly, I don't know. I feel like I would have liked either one. I don't know.
I wish we would have got a Winter Soldier. That's just it.
I'm curious to know about that too. Unless maybe it pops up somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless somehow someone else becomes, maybe freaking Red Skull becomes like the Winter Soldier in this.
Unless he does become the Winter Soldier, but it happens after the fact.
Oh, like in the time
that's why he's still alive or something, But
I could go for that.
I don't know.
Like in the time from where she goes in and when
comes out. Yeah. That could be where Winter Soldier comes into play. Again, I don't think we're going to see them again.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think it's going to be a minute before we see them again. How do you think? I don't know. How do you think the show's going to end? I mean, it's still pretty early, so it's hard to tell. But like, if you were to speculate, what was going to happen at the end of the show? What's happening? Like, do you think there's going to be a purpose to the end of the show, or is it just going to be kind of like a anthology, what if type of thing?
I think we're gonna see some of the characters switch over into like live action.
Okay.
Like, I think we're gonna see Doctor Strange or something happen like that, and they're gonna get pulled into the live action universe, and we're gonna see him in Multiverse of Madness or something like that.
I feel like if they're gonna bring Agent Carter back, it's gonna be as
that's exactly,
and that's probably the coolest way
Because remember, we've been talking about a Captain Britain for a while. That would be the best way to give us a Captain Britain is just have it be Captain Carter. Like,
I think that's a great way to
who would be mad at that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because I really enjoyed. I don't remember her name. Is it the one that plays
Hayley Atwell?
Atwell. I love her. I loved her so much. I loved Agent Carter. I'm sad that we didn't get to actually see more from Agent Carter because the show got canceled.
And I don't think that's MCU canon either, technically. That and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are like not technically MCU canon.
But they're both Agent Carter and Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. are definitely connected. I'm pretty
sure. Yeah, those are canon to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it's going to end for sure. I think it's a little bit more. But I feel like in terms of like the bigger picture, I think we are going to see some of these characters in live action. You know, I don't know how that's going to be. But I just feel like there's a lot of opportunities for that to become a reality right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with the next 3 movies that we have coming out.
Yeah. For sure.
And heck, maybe even after season 2 of Loki, assuming we get it next year. I don't know what they're trying to do with that quite yet. But I'm happy.
I'm happy too. And it was the one thing that wasn't weird, I guess, but it was something that caught my attention was how at the beginning the Watcher, what he said made it seem as if everything was even new to him. So I don't know if the branch of this multiverse even creates the Watcher. You know what I mean? Like there has to be someone to watch what's happening. So
maybe the Watcher was like assuming everything that Kang had said in Loki was true. Maybe the Watcher in that timeline was killed or, gone. So that's why he wasn't around. And then now because of the events of Loki, like he just kind of reappeared or woke up type of thing. And that's why he said that maybe. That might be what's going on. I don't know.
I could definitely go for that.
And I think I would definitely go for that. I'm excited to see what we're going to see from the Watcher, even though he said, like, he made it apparent that he doesn't get involved in anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like because he said that, he's going to get involved
in something, and something's going to happen.
And I don't. Does he? What type of powers does he have? Does he have powers? Or is he just a dude that just sees stuff?
I think he has powers. The Big Book of Marvel is over there. Okay. Thank you, my good man. So let's take a look in the Big Book of Marvels.
And it may be this description will give us some insight as to maybe what we could possibly expect. Because this book does a really good job of kind of like telling us some hints.
Giving us a little
nudge.
Insight.
Yeah. And so
as to what
possible future
may happen.
But let us know what you guys thought of this episode if you're just joining us. Did you like it? Did you not like it?
It was a great episode.
If you didn't like it, what didn't you like about it? Even if you did like it, did you have any concerns about anything? I think the animation for us is definitely the big one.
Yeah,
that keeps coming up. But for the most part, other than that,
what is bruh's name? Uatu? Is it with a U? Because it's not under the Watcher.
Here, let's see.
I thought he would have just been. I
felt like he'd had like telekinesis or something.
For real.
Are they known as the Watchers?
Yeah, the Watchers.
Watchers are cosmic beings who possess the innate ability to achieve virtually any effect desired.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah, Uatu, the Watcher.
Ooh.
So real name Uatu. His his first appearance is Fantastic Four number 13. Oh snap! Here's his powers. Virtually immortal, has superhuman intelligence, is telepathic, and can teleport from the Earth to the Moon.
Oh,
it's not bad. So, Uatu the Watcher, self-appointed observers of the universe. The Watchers vowed never to interfere in the affairs of others. As the Watcher responsible for Earth and its solar system, Uatu has broken this rule several times since encountering the Fantastic Four. His most significant intervention came just before Earth's visit from Galactus and the Silver Surfer, when he warned the Fantastic Four of the impending alien threat. Cautioned for his repeated interference, Uatu was stripped of his role as the Watcher, but was eventually reinstated. He was attacked by Dr. Midas and the Exterminatrix, the Orb, and the Mindless Ones. The Orb shot him and removed one of his eyes. When Uatu refused to tell Nick Fury who his assailants were, Fury killed him and took the other eye, which contained everything Uatu had witnessed. Yo, amazing.
A lot of information.
A lot of info.
A lot of potential in directions that we could be going. But a lot of Fantastic Four stuff in there.
A lot of Fantastic Four stuff. Do you think we're going to see the Fantastic Four in this series?
I think it would be, honestly, thinking about it, it would be a great way to kind of introduce them. Like, slyly.
I guess.
See shit, or someone mentions the Fantastic Four. Or it might be we actually get, I don't know, maybe we get an episode about the Fantastic Four. We just don't know.
Oh, that would be dope.
Like the secret last episode. And we just don't know. With that said, I don't even know how many episodes there's supposed to be about this show. I'm assuming 6, but there might be more based off the different subjects that they've given us. If you know how many episodes there are, let us know.
Yeah.
We're not too sure.
Whenever we look stuff up like that, it's always finessing us.
Yeah, a little iffy. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what else we could.
I think I guess our last thing could be like, what do you expect for like maybe the next episode, or just
I expect. I don't know what I expect, but I would like to see maybe Endgame different, or like cool. Infinity War different, or something like that. Yeah. One of those big movies. Maybe Age of Ultron. Maybe that's what we see happen.
I feel like that's an episode we're getting.
Like, because you know how I love Age of Ultron. Bro.
Maybe that's
bring back James.
Maybe Spader. This is how they bring back Ultron in real life. That
would be awesome.
For me, they just gotta keep doing what they're doing, man. I love this episode.
Yeah,
this is a great show.
Definitely.
I don't think they're gonna fail us. I think this show is definitely. I think this show has bigger implications than we know right now. And every episode is going to be awesome. Unlike Loki and all them, where we've kind of had, I don't know about that one, but like this one, I feel like I'm pretty confident we're going to.
Like there's not going to be
we're going to enjoy every bit of this show.
I could agree with you
because on that. I think for the most part, as an audience, we're just intrigued with the what if, and so
what if we get a 50-minute last episode? How would you feel about that?
I feel like that'd be like an end game, like a big
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because you know how like end game's 3 hours, so they just condense it all into like.
I would like them to try and do that.
Yeah, right.
I'm curious because apparently we might see Thanos. There was a thumbnail.
On the
video that we were looking at, and Thanos was there apparently. But that person also might have also seen the first two. Also, so the next 2 episodes because all the other main YouTubers got to see the first 3 episodes. So maybe he pops up in the next 2 episodes. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool. But with that said,
let
us know what you guys think.
Definitely let us know what you think, because this was a great episode, and I think all the episodes to come are going to just keep getting better and better and better. And you can make sure that we're going to be going live for every single one of them and talking about it. So make sure you guys tune in with us the next time we go live, and the next time we check something out. I cannot express how juiced I am about this show, and this is one of those ones that I'm gonna be more than happy to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What would you give this episode on the Marvel Bros scale before we head out of here? 5?
Yep.
5? Okay.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5. I agree. It is a 5 out of 5 because it had us
could have been
the
a
whole
4.8.
I agree because of the animation. Yeah, but I don't want to do that to it.
I enjoyed the series as a whole, though. So I'm not gonna degrade it.
Yeah. Definitely a 5 out of 5 on the Marvel Bros scale for both of us. So let us know how much you guys enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like on the stream, and make sure you join or subscribe or follow wherever you're watching at. Make sure you join us and continue on the amazing Marvel Bro journey. Check out our Discord, our website, all that good stuff, www.marvelbros.com. Check it out for merchandise donations and our Discord link. And
also, please make sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Marvel Bros 23 or Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch. We post all of our content and much more.
That's right. With all that being said, guys, thanks for chilling with us today, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Marvel Bros Pop Culture News Updates are now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. You can also watch Marvel Bros live every Sunday on Facebook.com, or you can watch them on YouTube where we upload regularly. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Marvel Bros 23 to keep up with all things Marvel and everything pop culture.